What is going on there, guys? Pat the Pac-Man here with my little baby girl, Sophie. I want to talk about why harnesses are bad for dogs that pull. Now, I know all the bullshit. I know, well, you got to put the harness on because it hurts their neck and it can damage them. And the one that pulls in the front and all this happy horse shit. Basically, harnesses that go around the body are meant to pull and to track. It's like when you put something on the body of a horse to pull a wagon, when you put something on the body of like a husky or a Malamute to pull the sled, it gives them all the power. All the power and all the control goes to the dog, which means no power and no control on the human. Harnesses do not unfocus your dog. They do not redirect your dog, because when you're pulling it, when you're snapping, even if you use the proper correction and you're snapping the leash the right way, it doesn't unfocus the brain. It doesn't redirect the brain. It just moves the body, and the brain still stays fixated on whatever it still stays fixated on whatever it is that they're focusing on. So the harness actually empowers them. It gives them more power to move. There has to be a little bit of discomfort for your dog to understand what it is that they're supposed to do or what they're not supposed to do. So if you put like a harness on a little baby girl like Sophie, yeah, you'll be able to control her body because she's small, but you still want to be able to control the brain, and the harness does not accomplish that. So especially when you have a bigger dog and can drag you down the street, it's even more important. Like a Sox or a Pepper, it's even more important to have a tool that's going to give you control and not give them all the control. So having that discomfort is necessary, but there has to be a right way of utilizing. You don't want to choke them. You don't want to apply the tension. That's actually, see how that works? That's actually not comfortable. And there has to be a certain level of discomfort. But if it's constant discomfort, dogs usually adapt to that, and they kind of like start to deal with it. They start to overcome it. So you see dogs that are walking down the street, they're like, that's just because, I know Soxter. That's just because, look at the Soxter's face. See right there, the Soxter. So that's just because the dogs get used to that, and obviously it's not a good thing. So there has to be a give and take, and we're going to talk about in a different video how to use the tool, because the truth of the matter is that the tool that you're using, whether it's a collar, specific collar like a choke chain or whatever, or a prong collar or an e-collar or whatever it is 5% of the battle. How you use it, how you're walking is 110% of the battle. Yeah, I know the math is off, but that's how important it is to not put in place a tool. So like, I'm not a big fan of tools to use. I'm a big proponent of slip leads. Slip leads are my tool of choice. I also like choke chains. I'm not a big fan of e-collars or prong collars. Definitely no harnesses. That's the whole point of what this video is about. Definitely no harnesses. But when I'm working with clients, if they like a certain tool, like a prong collar, I don't have a problem with it per se, but it has to be used the right way, and you have to understand that what's controlling your dog is that tool. The slip lead or the chain, the choke chain, is really what we're going to learn, or what we should be using to control our dog psychologically. We want to be able to control our dog. Proper walking technique is key. So you can't just put something on a dog and expect them to just be perfect with it. It's not how that works. But a harness will give them all the power, give them all the control. So they're going to end up being able to do whatever it is that they want. So I'm a big proponent of slip leads. That's what I use. That's what we use here. So we'll talk more about that in detail. Any questions about any of this stuff, let me know. Pat the Pac-Man and little baby Sophie. We'll catch you later.